Hey there everybody, it's Jessica and Peanut here from Jessica Smith TV, and we are back with another installment of our 1 mile walk and talk series. And today's topic is all about self-care lessons that we can learn from nature. So today's topic was inspired by several of our community members' fantastic comments. Jennifer Murray, Walking and Exercise 55, and Julia Redman made some great comments and suggestions, and they really kind of inspired this topic idea for me. So thank you so much, guys, for your great suggestions and ideas. I hope you like this walk and talk. So before we get started, let's just check in here with our posture, walking to the beat, standing tall. So just a little refresher, if you're new to our 1 mile walk and talk series, we're gonna be walking for approximately the equivalent of 1 mile today while we talk about a topic just to help you fit in some extra steps for the day to help get you up and moving. Not necessarily considered a workout, but if we get you motivated to move and you wanna continue on, you certainly can keep going with us. We've got over 400 additional workout videos here on our channel that you can jump right into after this. So let's take it into an out wide walk with those feet, just pumping up those arms. Give me a side to side toe tap, just pointing through the tops of the feet, adding a nice big reach. Good. Standing tall, checking in with your breath. You got it. Reach across your chest, just a little stretch across that upper back. Side to side, step tap, good. Okay, so let's talk about one of my favorite lessons that we can learn from nature, and I think it's so important in today's busy and hectic world, and that is to slow down. So one of my favorite quotes is, "Nature doesn't hurry, yet everything is accomplished." And I think there's so much value in that saying, and it's just such a great reminder that we are just constantly going through our days. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta accomplish this, and I'm trying to do 5 different things at once. And sometimes if you can just slow down, be patient, and trust that everything that you need to do is gonna be accomplished with time, we can take some of the stress and pressure off that you might be feeling. Sometimes creates anxiety in us. Just take a deep breath, slow down, and remember that quote from nature that you don't need to rush or to hurry to get things done. Let's take it back to our walk right here. Good. Now, another one that I love and I think is so valuable that we can learn from nature is that strength comes from adversity. So believe it or not, there's actually been studies done that when a plant is cut down or eaten, it's more likely to grow back faster and stronger than it was before. It actually changes its DNA to respond to whatever just happened to it. So I think that's an amazing lesson that we can all internalize and look for ways to turn our struggles that we might be experiencing in our life and look for ways to turn those struggles into strength. Now you can apply that to your daily life. You can apply that to your workouts as well. You know, just going through a simple strength training routine. When you're struggling to do those last few reps, you're building strength. If you're working through a higher intensity cardio workout, when you're struggling to finish till that timer hits, you're building strength, right? So look for those ways to turn moments of adversity into strength. So another wonderful lesson that we can learn from nature is to remember that there's a season for everything. So you might be going through a really tough time in your life right now, and it may feel like it's gonna last forever, but remember that there is a season for everything. Trees don't get all worried and anxious when they lose their leaves in preparation for winter, right? They still stand strong and firm, and they stick it out. They go through the cold, they work into spring because they know when spring comes, things are gonna start blooming again. So remember that when you're dealing with a tough time, that this winter won't last forever. Do your best to stay strong during that tough time, and just know that spring is on its way. It's going to be coming, and that things will change. Things are seasonal. Life isn't always perfect. We have the ebbs and flows like the ocean. We have different seasons of life that we all go through. And just remember to do your best to be patient and do what you can to take care of yourself during those tougher times so that you can work through and get through the springs, the summers, the times when things are more positive and maybe a little bit easier on you in general. Another great one is just to remember to be present in your daily life. You know, if we look around at nature, nature has no choice but to be in the now, in the moment at all times. Peanut is not sitting here thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow or what she did yesterday. She is just in the moment, and I think at this moment she's enjoying a little nap. But I think it's just such a great reminder, you know, animals and plants, all they are in is the now. So they are only focused on what is happening right now in this moment. They're not worried or preoccupied with other things. I think that's just such a great reminder for us, because we are always so focused, myself included, on what's happening tomorrow, what happened yesterday, how am I gonna deal with this, how am I gonna deal with that? So if you find yourself really getting worked up into that state, see if you can bring yourself back. Take a little reminder note from nature to come back to the present moment and just focus on being here right now, doing what you can with what you have right here in this moment. Let's mix up the footwork a little bit. Let's just take it back to our side steps. We're gonna double it up for 2 and 2, so we just move you a little bit. Good. I know sometimes when I start blabbing, we get stuck on a move. You can always change things up. You don't have to wait for me. Good. That's why we're walking and talking though. Let's take it back into the center to a wide march. And just give me an alternating hamstring curl right here. Good. That's it. Nice. So another lesson that I think is so crucial that we can remember to take from nature is to stay connected. So when we say connected in today's world, we usually think about being online and on social media and connected to everybody out there in the ether, right? But really, if you look at nature, everything is connected, but in the complete opposite way, right? There is no internet in nature. Nature is all about connecting to its surroundings, to its environment. One thing relates to another and affects everything else. If you think about the example, take it back to a walk while I blab here. Think about the example of a honeybee, right? We don't always think about how much a honeybee does, but if you really look at all the things that one little bee can influence throughout the food chain and the system, it's incredible. And I want you to remember that. You know, sometimes we get, I think the more connected we are technologically, sometimes the more isolated and alone we feel and disconnected, but really we are all connected to each other. And it's also important to stay connected to your source. So whatever religion or spirituality you may practice, just finding that connection to your source and to those around you in the physical realm and the spiritual realm, not just the internet realm, is so important too. And I think that's just such a wonderful lesson that we can learn from nature as well. We're all connected, stay connected. Good, so let's mix up our steps again here. Let's take it out, out, in. That's it. Nice, good. So hopefully, as we're talking, maybe you're thinking of some other things that we can learn from nature too. And of course, I'd love to hear from you. So if I missed a few, or if there's a few you can expand on, I would love to hear about it. Don't forget to leave us a comment below. But another great lesson from nature is to remain flexible and adaptable. So I know that that can be tough sometimes, especially when we're dealing with challenges or obstacles, but the more flexible and adaptable you can be, the less struggle and stress you may create for yourself. Take it back to your walk. So for example, if we think about a tree blowing in the wind, it allows its branches to move. It just tries to move with the weather as best as it can. And sometimes branches break and it has to let go of things to stay solid and upright. So the more you can think about trying to either move with the wind or let go of whatever you need to let go of to weather whatever storm you might be experiencing, the more you may find that it's a little less stressful, a little bit more manageable for you to get through. So remember, try your best to stay flexible and adaptable and take those cues from nature. Good, stay walking strong. Let's just mix it up with an alternating heel dig to the front. Just flex your foot, pull it back. Good. So the last one here that I thought about, and again, you may have more to share and I'd love to hear them, but another one that I was thinking about that nature really helps us learn is to value intuition over information. So what I mean about that, take it back to your walk, is nature doesn't rely on a tracker or a device to tell it how many calories to ingest and how many steps to take for the day. Instead, it has to rely on intuition. So if you think about animals, they wake up, they stretch, they eat, they move, they play, all based on their inner guidance, their inner wisdom. And I think that really that's something that we can take in, especially in this modern high-tech society where we're all wearing trackers and relying on all this external information. You know, we can Google everything and we can come up with these amazing plans and information and you should do this and you should do that. And I think while that's all wonderful and important, sometimes we lose that connection with our own personal intuition and our inner voice that really is so wise about what our body truly needs. So one of the last things I wanted to just remind you about that I think we can take away from nature is to not forget to pay attention to your internal intuition and not just all of that information that's constantly swimming outside of us. Pay attention to your body's internal cues. You know, you hear me say, listen to your body all the time, and that's really what I'm talking about. And a lot of times people say, oh, okay, yeah, but you know, when I listen to my body, it says, go eat pizza and watch Netflix. But my question to you is, does it really? Go a little bit deeper than that. You know, maybe your body is saying to you, I need some quality high-fat food because you haven't been fueling me enough. Maybe you're starved for energy and so you're craving some high-fat comfort food. Maybe you haven't been sleeping enough, you've been under a lot of stress, so your body is just saying, I need to just rest and chill. So see how deep you can go with those messages, because our bodies are always telling us things, they're always sending us signals, and it can be really hard to stay connected when we're paying attention to all that outside information. So taking that cue from nature, value your intuition, your inner guidance over the information. Take that information in, but always make sure it works with your body's needs and your internal cues. Okay, that was my spiel for today. So I hope that helped. I think that there's so many things that we can learn from nature. These were just a few that came to my mind. But of course, I'd love to hear more from you. So if you have more comments about this topic, more ideas, please share them in the comments below. I love hearing all of your wisdom and great advice as well. And if you have a topic idea for an upcoming episode, let us know what other things you'd like us to walk and talk about. Good, let's just take it down a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in, inhale, exhale, let it go. One more time, nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Good, so remember, if we got you inspired to keep on moving, we've got plenty more videos you can continue on with. Maybe you want to just keep walking and talking with us today. We'd love to do that as well. You can stay here in our 1 mile walk and talk playlist and continue walking on with us. Otherwise, if you're ready to move on, thanks so much for tuning in today. We had a great time walking and talking with you. And Peanut and I hope to join you for another session real soon. Take care, everybody.